Welcome to Fan Favorite Friday, guys. So I have a special surprise for you guys, and you can probably hear it. I got my Invisalign off, so I do have a little bit of a lisp. I am going to be doing there's a rainbow story exercise that you can do to get rid of the lisp. So I'm going to be doing that for the next few days. I do want to remind you guys that I am open for readings tomorrow, but I am doing a live psychic event for tomorrow afternoon, evening. And what it is I'm going to go into a deep psychic meditation and we're going to walk through the Lizzie Borden murders. So it should be really fun. There's going to be printables. There's going to be, thank you, Zephyr. There's going to be printables. There's going to be all kinds of cool stuff. My friends, Debbie Showen, you guys know her from the chat, and my friend Dave Murphy are both going to co-host the event. And so while I'm in the deep meditation, no tarot cards, nothing like that, they are going to take your questions from the chat. So think about it this way. You are going to be like remote controlling me through the event. So we'll talk about the timeline of the event. Uh-oh. Can you hear me? My mic went out for a second, guys. I'm having a lot of trouble with this mic. I don't know why. Let me see if I can get her back on. Let's see if we can hear me okay. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I guess Lizzie Borden is affecting my hardware here. So audio's back. All right, awesome. Thank you, Raindrop. Thank you, Zephyr. So Fan Favorite Friday. The winner was the Diddy trial, which I think makes sense. It actually is extremely timely right now. They did not have court today, but they are working through jury selection very quickly. I believe they're down to about 45 candidates at this point, and they've had some funny ones in the mix. One of them was declined because he or she did not think that they could stop smoking marijuana for the duration of the trial. Another one admitted that they didn't finish the jury documents because they were tired from watching. Is it Endor? It's Endor, right?
What? Andor.
Andor. Okay. I was going to say Andor, and then I was like, no, it's Endor, isn't it?
Actually, very, very good.
It's a good series. Well, someone had binge watched it and they didn't finish their Diddy paperwork as a result of that.
I understand.
You understand that?
Quite gross.
Gregopedia understands that. So yeah. So I think that it really does make sense. Oh, Gregopedia. One of the jurors also had to. It was removed because they went to high school with Diddy. So we know people that went to high school with Diddy too. Oh, Lady of the Lake. Next Past Lives group is going to be next week. Swoop. It is the 17th of May, and it's going to be from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. New York time. So it's just about 5 p.m. on Saturday night for you. So it'll be next week. And that'll be on Saturday. And again, that's going to be a private event, limited seats so that I can, we can have good conversations about it. Same thing with the Lizzie Borden event this week. I made it a little bit later and I apologize to my friends in the United Kingdom, but I really wanted Dave Murphy in Australia to co-host it because he was so great in the event that we did with Debbie. I really wanted him to take part in it and have a more active role. So for the past life regression, the following week, the 17th, I am going to have some printables for you guys as well. So it should be, you should be able to do some cool stuff. So it's great to see everybody in the chat. I see Julianne Lewis, Outer Limits, another off-worlder is here. Love that. So if you guys are ready, I'm ready. I have a list of questions. There also is an article that I pulled up, and where did it go? And I wonder, where did it go?
There you did love it so.
Fishy, 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 fish. So there were some interesting things that came out. Sean Diddy Combs' lawyers plan to accuse ex-girlfriend of DV herself at the ST trial. Diddy now has a beard. He is a little bit gray. So we're going to get started. If you guys have questions, put them in the chat. Questions you want me to answer. Oh, excellent, Lady of the Lake. I love that. I'll be promoting that next week, but you know, if you want to jump in now, you can. Hi, Specs Appeal. Good to see you. Good to see you, my dear. So we also had some interesting things go on over the last 24 hours, not to go too much away from our subject matter, but we had another cat, another feral give birth over at the neighbor's house. We had 2 baby newborn kittens. Sadly, they did not make it. The mom is the daughter of my cat. I'm now calling her my cat. And her name was Bourbon. And my neighbor has now changed her name to what did she say she changed it to? Casey Anthony. Casey Anthony. So yeah, she changed her name to Casey Anthony. Lady of the Lake, I am pasting in the past life regression link. You can grab that right there. So if you guys want to come to the past life regression on the 12th or on the 17th, I'm sorry, you can jump in on that. So yeah, we're very sad. We actually brought those kittens over here and tried to get Cutie Patootie to take them on. Oh, thank you, Specs Appeal. I appreciate that. Thank you, my dear. So we tried to get her to nurse those kittens, and she rejected them too. So you know, it was just unfortunate. I had real quick Instacarted some kitten milk and some nipples and we tried to feed him as best we could, but you know, just didn't happen. So the little boy cat just passed now. His sister didn't make it overnight. So but good news is we're going to get everybody neutered, and that mama cat Bourbon is touchable, and we actually brought her inside, not in our house, in the neighbor's house. Oh, Deborah, thank you so much. Thank you, Deborah, for gifting those memberships. I appreciate that. I'm going to try and schedule the members live and a general live for tomorrow before my event later on. So hopefully we will do that. So yeah, you know, we really tried, but my kittens are thriving. In fact, I will show you guys a picture. I'm going to make an album cover. I'm going to make an album cover. So so there they are. I don't know what the name of their group is, but I know my little girl in the background looks very smug. So she's very smug. And our mama is doing really well. I actually sent out this picture to one of my girlfriends who rescues ferals, and that's my Cutie Patootie next to my sandal. So it's exciting times over here, exciting times. And I found out that Elon Musk cat, 3 cat night. That's awesome. Oh, Specs Appeal. I was literally just thinking about how I would like to talk to someone about tarot, and then you popped up. Specs Appeal, anytime you want to talk about tarot, my email is fortunecookiestarot@gmail.com. It's real easy. Send me an email. We'll sit and chit chat. I'll chit chat with you. I'd love to do that. We could have like a Sunday morning coffee while we're hanging out with the kiddies tomorrow, and chit chat. So, huh? No, well, tomorrow I'm scrambling. So Sunday's my day off. So I get to hang out. I get to choose what I do. So well, let's get started. We got 31 people in here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Let's get going on this. And remember, if you want to ask questions, do all caps. I won't think you're yelling at me. I absolutely, it's just so that I can see it. All right. So I have some questions going. I know Diddy had to take a pee break.
A P. Diddy break?
Oh, a P. Diddy break at one point during the jury selection. And the judge said something about, I am a machine. So I guess he went to Russia and hang out with the mafia. I am a machine. So I can't figure out what he said. He must have said Yamashina. I don't know what he was trying to say to them, though. But anyway, there's a comedian that said that. Okay, I got you, Vicky. We got a 3-letter word here, 3-letter agency here. All right, so let's get going. Thank you, Susan, for saying hit that button. I'm not even looking at my studio on the other side, and I'm just going to throw cards on the floor starting out, and we are going to be working with the hi Samantha Mustard, darling. We are going to be working with the Antique Anatomy deck. This is Beth. I agree. Everyone does ask the best questions in the chat, so keep them coming. This is a super cool. Hi, Stephanie. This is a super cool deck that uses old botany woodcuts and anatomy woodcuts, and it is funkalicious. So we're going to be using that today. All right, let's get crisscross applesauce here. Had a great acupuncture session and physical therapy session with my guy Jordan over at New Jersey Spine and Wellness. I have an amazing team over there. They're trying to get me back together, trying to put Humpty Dumpty back together. All right, let's make this nice and big, guys. And 36 of you. Glad to see everybody here. So what energy currently surrounds Sean Combs in the wake of the accusations and investigations? So 3 of rods. That's putting together a team. And we have the 4 of rods trying to create loyalty. Oh, good one. Outer limits. Good one. Oh, wait. There we go. Chat's going a little bit fast. Or Lady of the Lake. I'm sorry. Lady of the Lake. No. We're good. We're good. Yeah, there was an interesting thing that came out on that. So, and we can skip off the Diddy trial as needed. I've got a lot of questions on the Diddy trial, but we can skip off that as needed. Definitely, yeah, good cards here, Zephyr. But this is Sean Combs. This is Diddy's energy right now. And so what he's trying to do is be as positive as possible, create this loyal team that is going to work with him. Is he emotionally or spiritually prepared for what is about to come? And I'm hearing like some interesting things from legal people. You know, we turned down the plea bargain. There's already been a plea bargain offered. So is he emotionally prepared for what is to come? King of Blades, he thinks that he's got the goods and the evidence. This is evidence. He thinks he has the evidence enough to flip this in his favor. Is he emotionally prepared for what's about to come? 4 of rods. Yeah, you know what? There is a confidence about him that is kind of wild. So Empress in reverse, 7 of pentacles in reverse. So what does that mean? That the story, he's going to say that the story that came out is not accurate and that there were others that were as culpable as him. So if this is a drowning man kind of trial, he is going to take everybody down with him if he can. So I think he's going to be pointing a finger at a lot of people. Again, we're focused on, he thinks he holds all the cards. Absolutely, Zephyr. That is what he's doing. Is there a sense of guilt, denial, or defiance showing up in his energy? So let's look at guilt first. No. Knight of Blades. Knight of Blades. He will, that's a deny till you die kind of card. Deny till you die. So denial. The 6 of coins. Yeah. Like, feel bad for me. I'm an entrepreneur. I brought myself up from nothing. Just so you guys know, and we know someone, like I said, that went to high school with him. He came from pretty good means. Like, he wasn't destitute. He's not from the streets. He, did have a single mother for whatever reasons that was, but he was not poverty stricken. He actually went to a pretty good school. Is there a sense of denial? And there it is, 5 of Cups. He is going to be looking at, remember, our 5 of Cups or 5 of Elixirs in this deck is about looking at the negative and not the positive. In this sense, it's really not negative and positive. In this case, it's the negative stuff. He's going to be looking at everyone set me up, everyone framed me. This was a stitch up, and this was a establishment stitch up. That other bozo said that. He's going to really not look at the positive, which is the reality of what happened. He cannot really turn around and see that. Oh, Debbie, you're watching until you lose power. Thunderstorm warnings. The weather is nuts. Yeah, it's funky up here, but no thunderstorm. So Debbie, I get you. Debbie's in Thunderstorm Alley down there in the great free state of Florida. It's good to see you in the chat, though, my girlfriend. If we can talk after, if you're not, I'll text you when we come off. We will we'll coordinate. If we don't talk today, we'll talk tomorrow, and you're certainly getting an email from me later. So Debbie is the one who's going to be hosting for tomorrow night. So those of you that love Debbie, she will be running the show and directing the psychic. So she's got Debbie herself is psychic. She is a gifted psychic and a gifted tarot card reader. She doesn't choose to do it out loud and crazy like me, but she is amazing and she is my good friend and I love her dearly. So Deb, stick around as long as you can and we will definitely be seeing her tomorrow. So let's look at the legal landscape. Will criminal charges stick to Diddy? Will they stick? Woo! This deck is slippery and hot.
Lubricated and spicy?
Lubricated and spicy? Huh?
Baby oil.
Oh, goodness. It's spiky, isn't it?
Yes.
Beth, I see your question there. Sit tight, baby. Sit tight. All right. So, will these charges stick? Is it going to stick? Cheerio, Heidi from Coventry. How are you? Now that's wild. The 9 of Wands in reverse. So, this and Heidi, we're talking about Diddy right now, but if you have questions, you can put them in bold. Put them in bold, all capital letters. I won't think that you're yelling at me. Outer limits. I'm going to mark yours because we're going to look at that. We're going to see. And I said that before. I said there, I do think that there's a lot of people that jump on the bandwagon for this. I have questions about that woman who burned her legs with Megan's thing. So, I got everybody from the UK here. I love having UK people here. Guys, I can't wait to come visit y'all. So this is y'all. This is the 9 of Wands with nothing to hide behind. Nothing to hide behind. It is a little bit tricky for him to get out of this. There's going to be too many corroborated stories. Let's see a little bit more here. Little bits up and down. So we got the Page of Swords. The lies are not good enough. I hate to say it. The cover story is not good enough. And 5 of Coins, he's not going to have the corroboration of the people on his side. So those inner sanctum individuals are going to not stick with him on it. Not stick with him on that. So will he, I don't want to ask if he's going to face jail time. Because we really do want to let this trial play out, because you never know what's going to happen. I thought OJ Simpson was going to jail. So psychic as I am, I was blown away when they came in and said that he was not going to jail.
Why would he go to jail? He was helping.
He was looking for the murderer.
Close to finding the killer. So close.
He died trying. So is he going to be financially devastated from this? Oh, and Zephyr said he did go to jail eventually.
Yeah, for like robbing his own memorabilia.
Yeah, it was bizarre. So is he going to be financially devastated by the settlements? And that is the Tower in reverse, guys. What do I say about the Tower in reverse? You don't say it together. It's something we do to destroy ourselves. It's something we do to disrupt our own life. So really think that we're looking at that. So now here's a big question. Are there powerful forces working behind the scenes to protect or silence this case? So is there something trying to save him? I got 2 cards on this. We got the Ace of Cups and we got the Hierophant in reverse. This means that the Pentaverate, the Getty, the Rothschilds,
the Vatican, the royal family, and the colonel before they went tits up.
This means that the new start is not being offered by it's a love potion, darling. It does look like Empress 1908 though, or an absolute vodka. Just by the way, I made cherries, whiskey soaked cherries. I think I'm gonna have to share that recipe when I finish them up. And I also made vanilla vodka yesterday, so I'm gonna be shake some of the beverage tonight, I think. So outer limits. I'm going to make a mark on your statement there, because we're going to do that. And so I don't think that the cabal, the powers that be, are really working in favor with him. Oh, Renee, big bottle of baby oil. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So I don't think that there's anyone that is trying to help him. Is there any way that there is something behind the scenes trying to throw him under the bus? As in, not help him. Is he going to be a Patsy? Patsy, darling! The Star and the Empress. Star and the Empress. Very, very interesting. High Priestess. High Priestess.
Hello.
So, are you talking to me?
You said high priestess. I thought we were saying hello to the priestess.
No, hi priestess.
Hi.
High priestess. That is someone who is trying to protect the future and protect what is going on for their babies and individuals. So I do think that there is some machinery behind him that is working to take him down. So let's see what we got here. There's our Empress again. There is our love potion. Page of coins in reverse. 6 of blades in reverse. And the devil in reverse. I'm going to make a prediction right now, guys. Seriously? How long is that alarm on there? Well, it gives you the headlines?
Yes, it's a...
Gregopedia has alarms on his phone, and it sings like a little song to him, and then it like gives him the headlines of the weather, and like mine just goes beep beep. But like, what the hell?
It's called love. Okay.
It's called love.
It's called love.
AI love.
Yes.
Saw a movie about that once. Very weird. So, Renee, I did shuffle the cards. Same cards. Crazy, right? So this is about bringing up another. They're gonna, when you cut the head off the Hydra, like how many more produce?
For every one you chop off, 2.
2. So we're gonna get another installation. We're gonna get another Diddy. Is it someone we know that? And this is like the craziest devil card, guys. Look at that devil card. Wild. Hi, Margie. I got your name right. So is he going to be replaced by an individual that we already know, someone already in the industry? Because you have to think about it. Where's the influence? Industry, temperance, give us time. The 7 of elixirs or cups in this deck, and the 10 of rods. So just as we are selecting a new pope, and there was white smoke yesterday, by the way, I knew that was going to happen on Thursday, and I feel bad that I didn't say anything about it. One of my friends works for one of the major organizations, religious organizations, that was watching that, and I should have told them that it was going to be Thursday. Fortunately, that person was prepared for it to happen on Thursday. But I knew it was going to happen on Thursday. I knew we were going to get the new Pope on Thursday. American Pope, very interesting. So it's like, American Graffiti, American Pope. Somebody needs to make an AI movie. So, Beth, good question. I got good questions coming in. So I think they have a lot to choose from here. And the cabal is going to take the time of the trial to choose the next one. Oh, wait, Julianne Lewis, you saw a list of people that were going to be in the trial? So hi, Aries Rainbow Child. I had an article and it disappeared. I had an article and all of a sudden it's like I get a 404 error message when I go back to it. So I think there's something to that. So I do think we have a bit of a cabal taking care of things. So which celebrity connections will be dragged into this investigation? So hang on there, Julianne Lewis, because I am jumping on yours. Yeah, Zephyr, he did tick off both sides. He really did. He really, really did. So which celebrities will be dragged into this? And how are they going to fare? How is Usher going to fare? How is Usher going to... Ooh, 5 of blades. He's going to be fighting for his life. Death in reverse. We have the 6 of Rods, successful. Justice in reverse. I think he's going to have a lot to say, that Usher. And I think he'll be okay. But I don't think everything's going to go the direction Usher wants it to be. Because this justice is in reverse. So will Usher be in danger after this case? King of Coins. 4 of Rods in reverse. He may. Oh boy. Thank you, Zephyr. Newark is kind of a mess right now. The airport is a mess, and now the mayor is arrested. Fantastic. I think Usher, Outer Limits, I think Usher is going to testify things that are going to point in the direction of guilt. I'm focused, Zephyr. All right, I'm like squirrel. I'm like all over the place. Thinking about kittens. I'm all over the place. So I think Usher is going to reveal some things that will be damaging to Diddy, and I think he should be a little bit concerned about himself after. I think he needs to be very careful about that, because I don't know if the justice is going to go in the right direction. That justice in reverse is a little scary. What was that justice in reverse about with Usher? Is Usher not going to be held responsible for his own diddlings? Oh, yes. Yes. Usher is going to try and save his own skin. And that's why he is going to be in danger. His past will come back to haunt him. He will not be able to ditch his past. Hi, Penny D. Penny D. Good to see you, honey. Hope you're having a great day. Kicking off the weekend. So, all right, let's look at Cassie. Now we just saw, I mentioned that there's an article that says the Diddy defense is going to try and vilify. Usher is not innocent. Absolutely not, Zephyr. That the Diddy defense is going to try and vilify Cassie and blame some DV on her. How is Cassie going to make out? How is she going to make out? So you know what? She has done a lot of work on herself. And I don't think that she can be flapped by this. I don't think I think she has received lots of counseling and therapy, and I don't think that this trial, I think they've got her prepped well enough to be able to withstand the prosecution cross-examination, those kinds of, or defense cross-examination. She's really, they're grilling her. They are grilling her. Renee, the third witness, the third accuser, you mean? I think you mean the third accuser, the anonymous accuser. Just let me know in the chat if that is correct. I feel like I'm lisping again, guys. I'm trying not to. She sells seashells by the seashore. Zephyr, I think I disagree. I think they really have her prepped well. And I think they thanks, Zephyr. I don't have a lateral list. I'm like smiling so big though. Yee! And I'm doing whitening now, so I'm on the whitening brigade. When I go back to big picture, I will smile really big for you guys. I'm very happy about my teeth. I know it's so stupid. It's just like a stupid thing. So how is she going to do on the stand when she's grilled? Queen of Coins. The King of Coins, there's going to be a little bit of her testimony that they're going to be like, well, you benefited from what the experience with him was. You were there. You got to ride in the G-Wagon. You had an apartment. You had your, meals made for you. You stayed in fancy hotels. Oh, sorry about that. But I think they're going to take some issue, but I think mainly her story is going to remain the same. She's not going to back down off it. That Chariot in reverse, great Chariot card for this deck too. That Chariot in reverse is she is not going to put that car in reverse. She's just not going to do it. Let me jump over to your questions real quick. I just want to do a couple of these questions. Again, I want to thank Karen and Specs Appeal. Let's go here. We are going to look, was he an operative? Was he a 3-letter operative? Let's see. One card, guys. Ready? What? Was he rogue? Did he go rogue? Page of Coins. You ever see the movie Rush? Fool in reverse. Eight of Coins, not doing his job. What was his job? His job was to boom, boom, boom. So we have the Sun, Page of Cups, and the 8 of Swords. His job was extraction. His job was to expose and extract someone from the organization. Now, does that mean that he went to school to, work for that 3-letter organization? No, I think he came up in the industry and he was approached. So I think he was asked as a person of influence to uncover something. It was involving more money issues, I think, than the Love on the Rocks. Ain't no big surprise. I do think that there was more money and power and influence involved here rather than the trading of peoples. But let's see. Was it money? Tower in reverse. Yes, money is a thing. Influence. Hierophant in reverse. Yes, that's a thing. Was it in the trading of people? The Moon. That was part of it. That was something that came up. So, Gregopedia and I had an interesting conversation about EPS. FA EPS. Because Greg thinks that he was making money off those individuals and those young women. And I don't think that he was making money off that. I think he made money other ways. I think that was party favor. Let me know what you guys think in the comments there. I think that this turned into something else. Was it because of the substances? Did Diddy take that role that was assigned to him and kind of go out of control because of the substances that he was doing? Oh, yeah. Yeah. King of Cups, and the Ace of Cups, and then 7 of Rods, which is out of control. So yeah, I do think that once put into that position, did he, smoke a little, toke a little, poke a little? Yeah, I think prior to that, but I think the more influence that he had and the more deep cover he had from working for that organization, or working in cooperation with that three-letter organization, I think the more that he started to dig into these things, and the more unbalanced, this 7 of Rods is unbalanced. We're unbalanced in that situation. So great question. Great question. So yes, I am going to say I do think he was involved in that. So hang on. I am just gonna go. Yes. Yes. Has always been used as a very powerful control tool. Agree. Yeah. Yeah. Unbelievable. So let's how is Kim Porter going to come through? I got the book. I got her book that she allegedly wrote. And it kind of read like Go Ask Alice. Like, I don't know if any of you read Go Ask Alice, but Go Ask Alice was a book that was written by an anonymous young girl in the 60s. And it was supposed to, show the perils of a life on substances, as the 60s were getting going. And it turned out that it was written by a woman. I think she was a school teacher or something like that. It was kind of like, kind of like Meghan Markle, how she like acts like what a business owner is supposed to act like and acts like what a mother is supposed to act like. It was written like like a young, like how someone would think a young girl would behave. I've recently gotten into, there's a channel called Who Killed Kurt Cobain, and I always, his demise always felt a little off, and they do a whole they're dissecting the entire thing, trying to get the case reopened. And the Seattle police chief of police at the time, he's now retired, did say that he would reopen the investigation if he was still in place now. But he they said that the crime scene appears to be very staged, and it looks like what someone would think a crime scene was supposed to look like. It's staged like that poorly. Very interesting things that these gals are coming up with. And I'm thinking I may do a private event and walk backward through the crime. So go from the red rum all the way back into what happened initially, like do a reverse remote view. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know in the chat. That definitely has to be done offline. I can't do that on YouTube. So, oh, good question, Karen. Good question. So, let's just look at Kim Porter real quick, because her book was very, very interesting. Oh, Heidi, you're not getting any of that news? Well, come here. I'll give you news. I'm trying to not just be on the Harry and Meghan thing. Everybody's got H&M fatigue. Andy from what do you call it? Oh, you're not getting the P. Diddy news? Yeah. Well, there's not much happening. Jury selection, like it's going to get rocking and rolling next week. Once they have the jury selected, then opening arguments, it'll get rocking and rolling next week, I think, or the week after. This is going to be the trial of the summer. We're going to be hearing about it all summer. So buckle up, Buttercup, because we're going to hear about it. So yeah, Kim Porter, I got her book, and it almost feels like somebody wrote it after the fact, or kind of wove together some of her tales that she told them. So how is Kim Porter going to come out in all of this at the end of it all? 7 of Blades, I think, and 4 of Coins. There, I do think that she is going to be presented as someone who was culpable again. I do think that a lot of these women are going to be vilified by the prosecution, which is highly disturbing. What was the reality of Kim Porter and her involvement? We have the Nine of Coins. She was a well-protected woman. The Magician, good card there. Elixirs. Ace of Elixirs in reverse. Rods 7 up top. And we have the Queen of Cups there. So I think that Kim Porter was a very interesting person who was looking to secure her place in entertainment. I think she was looking to secure her place in entertainment. Now, she was a model, and I think that the union with Diddy was supposed to be power coupling, just like a power coupling, just like Beyonce and Jay-Z. Yeah, the Beckhams, not that the Beckhams are, I really like the Beckhams. But I think that she really was crafting this as a power couple. And it was only when she found out that there were some different things going on that she said, yeah, this is not going to work. This is not going to work. So will she come out of this badly? Will she come out of it badly? I know she's passed away posthumously. Is she going to come out of this badly? Star in reverse. Penny D, I absolutely think that too. I absolutely think that too. Hi, Julianne Howard. How are you, my dear? Hayward. I said Howard. Hayward. Got my Invisalign off. I've got this permanent retainer in here, which is so weird. So weird. So that Nine of Swords, they are going to try and really tear down her. And I think we're going to see some of that. I think we're going to see her very, very dirtied, let's say that. Hi, Carol. I see you too, Julianne. I will always say your name. I try and say everybody's name. Oh, Sophie, I see yours there. Hang on, guys. Hang on. This is going to be a long live, guys. We're going to be here for a while. So, Justin Bieber, let's take a look at him in the Diddy trial. How is he going to fare? What is going to be how he looks? That five of swords, 5 of wands. I do think that he is going to have some things to say that aren't going to be very good. There's a lot of interesting things going on with Justin Bieber, the Scooter Braun situation, and the what's his name, David Bolser, the other guy who one of his proteges turned up, El Muerto. So I think there's some interesting things with people pulling away. So I do think Justin Bieber has been separating himself. Said that good. Separating himself. No, Victoria, I'm sticking around. Don't worry about it. And Julianne, I'm glad you liked my Nigel Farage reading. Some people didn't like it. Some people were like, he's a friend of Trump's. So, it's very, very interesting. So did Tommy Robinson get out of jail? Did I miss something? Is he out of jail? I'm a little bit worried about him. I hope he is out. I hope he got out. All right. So, are we going to have a surprising person show up thank you, Zephyr. But Harry and Meghan, you know the rest. Yeah, Heidi. They are so tedious. Harry, you know what? We'll do an energy read on them. We'll just see like where we want to go with them. Which Zephyr, if you guys ever want me to read tea leaves, I can read tea leaves. I even have like a special cup to read tea leaves. So if you ever want me to do like a tea leaf read, I will do that for you guys. So you could do all kinds of tools. So surprising person in the entertainment world who may turn up. So we've already heard Mike Myers, Austin Powers, like what the hell? Is he the only surprise? 8 of coins. I'm sorry, my chair is squeaking. And the devil in reverse. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get any more surprises. Like, and you know, when I'm saying surprises, I mean people that are directly kind of involved in all of this. So hang on, I'm just looking at Tommy Robinson not out yet, but has arranged for silence to be taken down of someone who has done on his behalf to remove the subject of contempt. Okay, interesting. So let me see. Was Prince Andrew working for someone? Was Prince Andrew working for someone? Prince Andrew working for someone. High Priestess. High Priestess. Queen of Coins. 4 of Blades. 2 of Cups. King of Coins. And the Magician in reverse. So I'm going to say yes. Let me know what you guys think of this deck. If you like this deck or if you want me to switch it up for the second hour. Was he working for someone? Yes, but I think that it's the crown. I think the read is because I'm just asking, like, is he working for someone? I think it's working for the queen. I think it's working for the crown. And trying to do the right things, trying, you know, as far as work goes. With the whole FA situation, was he working for someone in there? No. 7 of Cups in reverse, 9 of Cups, 6 of Cups, Ace of Coins, the Emperor, and the 2 of Rods in reverse. So, and this is one of the things that I was talking with Greg about last time when we were talking about FA and the situation. I think that it was, you know, going to oh, Julianne, hang on there. I got you, Julianne Lewis. I got you there. I'm going to answer that question. So I think it was, hey, you broke up with your wife or you broke up with your girlfriend. Come on down to my island. We'll hang out. We'll have a great time. You know, I don't think it was, hey, you know, I've got all of these, you know, SLAVESs down on my island. You want to come down? You can do whatever you want. I think it was more like I got a bunch of party girls down there. You know, I don't think that it was the marketing on it was what it really was, if that makes sense. And I don't think that people were invited there to do it. Once they went, if they were creeps and they were into that kind of creepy stuff, yeah, they wanted to go again. But I don't think the first few times people went, it was kind of billed that way. I don't think they ever really I don't think it was ever really in their face. And I'm not writing anybody a blank check here, guys. Like, I'm not doing that. But I do think it was, hey, I've got this really fun island. Come on down. You need to get away for a few weeks. Yeah, come on down. Like, I'll put you up. Like, I think that was it. Andrew definitely has bad taste in friends. And I think when you're in a position like him, so we have to keep in mind that the royal family is and I'm going to just switch the camera just to give you guys a little break and let you see my teeth. Look, these teeth look great. I'm so excited. So I think that the royal family is a microculture, and so therefore being a microculture that a lot of us can't really understand, you know, other people, when they interface with that kind of an individual, we can't really identify with that life. They can't really identify with our lives. That's why, thank you, Margie. I'm so happy it took 5 years to get them straight. That's why Prince Harry thinks that he is living like the rest of us, great unwashed. Because he doesn't know what it's like to live like a poor person or a regular person. He's cosplaying as a poor person. You know, poor little Harry, he only has $20 million in the bank. Like, that's really that is really like kind of how he thinks. So and that's how that microculture really thinks. So thank you so much, Mandy. I appreciate you. I'm glad to have you here. So you know, it really is very difficult for those types to go out into the world, into the greater world, without any of the structure and the scaffolding that they have in the royal family and function properly. So does that mean that Prince William, if we kind of dropped him out in the middle of nowhere, would he be able to function? I think he's an anomaly. Think about King Charles, though. If we dropped him in the middle of nowhere, would he be able to function? Maybe if he had Camilla with him, because Camilla would be like, I'm gonna light a fire, I'm gonna go hunt that deer, and you know, I'll skin it and we'll figure it out. I think she's, you know, because she comes from a different caste level. I think, you know, she's a little bit more in tune. Catherine, I think, a little bit more in tune. She's adjusted to being a royal. She has become a royal as a result of her tutelage and her investment in it. So that microculture of being in the royal family, I think it's very hard for people like Andrew to go into the wild and to function with any kind of defense system there. I don't think that they really understand. That's why, you know, it's like, oh yeah, here's my money, here's my credit card. You know, I think it's very hard for them to go out into the world. So so all right, let's go on. So this is from Beth. Hi Beth, I hope you're still here. Did Diddy have anything to do with what happened to Wendy Williams? Did Diddy have anything to do with what happened to Wendy Williams? Now, we all know what happened to Wendy Williams. Let me switch this around. The moon in reverse. All is revealed. Let's see what we got. 2 of elixirs. Not playing ball. 2 of elixirs, 2 of cups is not playing ball. Everyone's talking about venison right now. I have venison in my freezer right now. I don't know if it's still good. It's from last season. It's from last hunting season. I didn't hunt that deer, but one of our friends did. So under the surface, 4 of elixirs. That's trying to figure out how to solve this problem, coming up with a solution. In the past, 6 of cups and Page of Cups, new beginning, outcome card. This is the big one. This is what's going to tell us what happened. The 10 of elixirs. No, I don't think it had anything to do with it. I do think that the pathways intersect, but look at how many cups we have here. This is a lot of cups, kids. I think that there was a support system that was there at one time, and then I think that support system was taken away. I think they chose to part ways for the better of each other. I think I like Wendy Williams. I think I like her. One of my favorite things that she said was, the bigger the hair, the smaller the butt looks. And I think that that's a great way to go about life. So good question though. Good question, Beth. Thank you. Thank you. Everybody who's throwing questions out, I really, really appreciate it. So, all right, outer limits. This isn't a question, but I do want to examine it. So there's 120 accusers in the Diddy trial. If half of those are exaggerations, let's say it's 60, and then we have half of those are less exaggerated, but bandwagon hoppers, that's 30. That means that we have about 30 people that are actual and viable accusers. Let's do a spectrum here. How reliable is the accuser bank? How reliable? So hopefully we're going to get a major arcana card. And we did. We got the Hangman, which is our 12th card of the deck in reverse. So this tells me that a lot of these people, a lot of the 120 accusers that we're seeing are going to be people that perhaps were more involved with the situation, with the engineering of, say, those blank offs and the partying situation. I think we are going to see a lot of people that were there. I just came to party. I think we're going to see a lot of people that went there to party. And this is not a shocker. When I was in physical therapy today, we were talking about the Met Gala and Link Lauren, who I love. If you guys are not following Link Lauren, follow him right away. He is the darling of my internet feed. I absolutely adore him. He was one of the advisors for RFK Jr. when he was running his presidential election, and now he is just a pop culture sounding point. He is partnering up with Dan Wooten, which I so want to do a reading on them because I want them to date. I want them to get together. And he's also working with Megyn Kelly, Maureen Callahan. Yeah, Link is absolutely going to go far. He is the darling of my feed. I see him and I just smile and adore him. I love when he goes, and we wish you well. So, Link Lawrence said in a comment about, so he was responding to someone that the Met Gala is really about doing substances. And oh, hi, honey. Hang on one second. I didn't see you there. Hey, come on back. Give me a kiss. We're off camera. Mwah. I love you. Be good. Careful. Have fun storming the castle. Hi, Shamika. Nice to meet you. So, yeah, links for links. Indeed. Indeed. You know what, Zephyr? Zephyr, I am going to, if you don't mind, Zephyr, I'm going to drop you. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm going to make you a mod. Let me see. I'm going to make you a mod. Can you please drop his link? But actually, I think I have to make you a different kind of mod. Wait, let me make you a different mod. I don't know if Debbie, bear with me. Sit tight. There you go. Just drop Link Lauren's link if you don't mind. Yes, I no pressure. I just want you to drop his link. No pressure. Oh, and I don't know if Debbie's still here. I don't know if she's in the middle of a storm. Julianne Hayward, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Charles had someone put toothpaste on his toothbrush. So, yes. Hi, Milky. Hi, Milky. I don't know what Milky Haj has all those hands there. Oh, Debbie, you're still here. I didn't know if you were stuck in the storm. All right, so one of you drop Link Lauren's link, please, if you don't mind. So yeah. So I think that we're going to discover that people were there to party with the whole Diddy thing. and they are going to be accusers, in a sense, accusers, but in actuality, it's they're somewhat culpable for being there, somewhat culpable. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see some of those accusers on the cross examination. So Zephyr, I highly dislike Megan as well. I think that she is a phony. I think she is a social climber, like many of the women that I met when I was in LA. I shouldn't say many. Fair amount. So recently there was a woman who, I believe it's a woman, who is threatening a 20 or 10 million pound lawsuit because she made the bath salt concoction that Megan made on her show. She's claiming that she burned herself, but I guess she's a diabetic, and I didn't know diabetics can't use blah, 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 Epsom salt. I mean, I have like a doctor something or other, doctor something or other. I can't remember what it is. Epsom salt in my bathroom cabinet, and use that all the time. Like, I'm not a diabetic, but why do you have to make your own concoction? Mine has all kinds of good stuff in it, and I buy it right off the counter. Don't have to do anything. So, is this claimant on the up and up? Is this claimant on the up and up? Now, according to the pre-trial statement, put their feet in, and their feet were starting to tingle, so they put their hand in and waved it around, and the hand got all kinds of sores, and the feet had all kinds of sores. So is she on the up and up? Queen of Cups. That is a yes. She actually is on the up and up. Two of Blades. I think there's going to be a combination of the recipe and also yeah, that, you know what? Outer Limits, that's okay. You're not going to get a shout down. Not at all. No one's going to shout you down. Not on my watch. No one puts Outer Limits in the corner. So you're cool here. You are cool here. So I do think that it's going to be yeah. 10 of Swords in reverse. That's our outcome. I think there's going to be some kind of an apology. I think this was a mistake on the part of the person, but if they have a good enough lawyer, they'll probably get, 5,000 pounds. I don't know. They'll be handed something because, they didn't. This is the thing. They didn't have the sores before, but after making this mixture, they did. And, whenever you use essential oils, you should use a carrier oil. Sweet almond oil, I believe, is one of them. I use sweet almond oil with what is the oil that I use on my face? Castor oil. I mix that with my regular moisturizer, a little, like, couple drops of castor oil, and then I put a little bit of sweet almond oil in there as well. Sometimes I do a little press on there. So I was going to do a get ready with me. Now I'm afraid to, because, like, if everybody does what I do, what if you get a zit? I don't know. Like, I'm not perfect. I'm not an esthetician. I am not an esthetician, though I did go to hairdressing school. So bottom line, I don't think the story is sus. I think it was kind of user error and influence, celebrity influence. Julianne Hayward, castor oil is amazing. It works better than any eye cream or wrinkle cream that I've ever used in my whole life. So the person who starts selling a castor oil skincare product is going to do very, very well for themselves. I use cold pressed black virgin Jamaican castor oil. That's the one that I always use. I use it everywhere. No, I just use it on my face. So, outer limits. Outer limits. I wonder if Diddy might be the U.S. equivalent of JS, one of our worst offenders, and close. Did he have it? Was he English? I thought he was from New York. Yeah, Julian Lewis. I believe that there were different levels to the parties too. There's we're gonna talk about that in a second. Let me star your comment there. Boop. All right, I gotcha. So is Five of Swords. They're really in the running with each other. And the Chariot in reverse. Are these parties going to intersect? I think we're going to find that there is some crossover between these two realms. Castor oil. We don't drink it, Zephyr, the castor oil. I know they used to give that to us when we were kids, but no, I use it on my skin, and not the kind that you can buy at the grocery store or at the pharmacy. Outer limits. You're spelling circle. Don't worry about it. I'm from New Jersey. That's how I say it. So, are we going to see? Is Diddy going to take the heat for JS? Wheel of Fortune. Oh, that's very unfortunate. Knight of Cups in reverse and the Chariot. Is he going to do the time? Lovers in reverse. Is he going to be seeing the same thing? Knight of Coins. Hang on. Is Diddy going to have the same sticky end as Jeffrey Epstein? Is he going to meet the same sticky end? The Moon, the Rods, Queen of Rods, Queen of Wands. You know what I think, guys? And I'm looking for a magician card. The Empress. I'm going to tell you something. If Diddy leaves the Earth plane, he's not leaving the Earth plane. They're tucking him away. So mark my words. If anything happens to him, he's going to still be on the Earth plane. He's going to be tucked away on the Isle of Misfit Toys, which I kind of think that Jeffrey Epstein might be there too. I said the whole name. I said the whole name. Wow. So Carnilla, why would rich people stoop so low and do wrong that they think they can get away with it, as karma is in the air with these people? So why do they think they can get away with it? Why do they think they can get away with it? This general. Why do they think they can get away with it? Suit of Coins, four of coins, and the Knight of Rods. So when you are of means, when you are someone who has reached a certain point of wealth, notoriety, that there is some cloistered life that you're allowed to live. So my parents were yachters. They not like that. My dad used to build motor yachts, and this was what he did in his retirement. And so they were in the south of France. They were in Monaco. Monaco is one of my mother's favorite places. They would go down to the Caribbean on their various boats that they had. And it really is a very protected kind of culture. You can't just go down those docks and go looking at boats. That's not how it works. Like, it is a very well protected environment. So one would think that if you are partying on yachts, if you're doing all these crazy things, if you are in a castle someplace, if you are in a giant hotel, standard kind of hotel, you guys know what I just said. So if you are in those kinds of places, there is a certain amount of protection that is expected and perceived. So, that's why non-disclosure agreements are abound. Fun fact for you guys, my ex-husband had to sign tons of NDAs, and I did not. And basically, I said to him one day, I see everything you see, and I didn't have to sign an NDA. And he goes, I know. And I was like, oh, okay. So, hang on. Mad World Tower said that this is the lady with the burns. I think they're going to do that too. Yeah, I think there's going to be a thing like that. And your son told you about a very bad serial person. One said that once you're past the first threshold of the taboo. Yeah, that's kind of what I think too. Outer limits. It's like when you fill a bathtub with really, really hot water and you're like Bugs Bunny getting in, you dip your foot in, you're like, ooh, and you just kind of get in there. I think it's the same thing. I think you really, really get just comfortable with it. As my belief, there we go, outer limits, that JS was never taken down in his lifetime for fear of who he might reveal. More cards jumping out. Zephyr, more cards. So was JS or JSA FA? Oh, that's okay. I work around it. Outer limits. So, Jimmy Savile. Yeah, he's not the Savile Rose. Doesn't matter. No one cares what you're wearing on Main Street or Savile Row. What you wear from ear to ear and not from head to toe, that matters. So, senator, so janitor, so long for a while. I'm sorry, you're never fully dressed, though you may wear the best. Let's talk about Jeffrey Epstein. A whole bunch of people left because I was singing. So, did he leave? Is he gone? Do we have him? Is he around? Two of coins, living two different lives. Bum, 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 bum. Two of cups, again, two different destinies, personalities. What's under the surface? We have the Four of Cups that's coming up with a new solution. Five of Rods, fighting about what to do with him. And the Nine of Coins, he was unprotective. What do we have here? 10 of Rods, story's finished. Is he still with us? 8 of Blades, release. So maybe he is not here. Maybe he's not here. Zephyr, my mom wanted me to be a Broadway star. I took music lessons for freaking ever. Eventually, I will have my cello that is covered in dust behind me. So, Zephyr, I will talk to you about your wrench. I didn't want to put the pressure on you and just be like, here, have a wrench. I know you mod for a lot of other people. One of my favorite people. You mod for one of my favorite people. So, all right. Next question. Ooh, Billy, good question. Here, let's take a look at that. Did he get plastic surgery? Is he? And I don't know what they could do about that jawline. He's got that crazy chin. It's like walking around pretending he's Jay Leno. Did I say that? Oh. Getting rid of that personality, huh? 6 of Wands, Temperance, Hierophant. Guys, Knight of Blades starting over. I still keep getting this 10 of blades, this 10 of swords. I keep getting that. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm struggling with that one. So Beth, I kind of covered that one already. Billy, you like that? Jay Leno. Jay Leno fell in his garage and had a big banger on his face. So had like a big crazy bruise on his face. So all right. Julianne Lewis saw a list. She did not know if it was genuine. Is Kamala Harris on the Diddy list? It's called the Diddy list. Kamala Harris, the woman who wore the most boring dress of all time at the Met Gala. It was the most boring dress. I mean, I know it was very meaningful. It was 3/4 black, 1/4 white, or vice versa. Yeah, 3/4 black and 1/4 white. I get it, but it just looked like it was off the rack at Macy's. I'm just saying. If you go to the Met Gala, like go big or go home. That's my opinion. All right, so I'm sorry that I totally busted into song when I said Saville. That was from Annie, if you guys didn't know. So Kamala Harris, was she on the Diddy list? 2 of rods, 8 of rods, Fool in reverse, Page of Cups in reverse, and King of Blades in reverse, and the 3 of Coins. I think she was there because it was a thing. I think she was there because it was just a thing. It was just a thing to do, a place to be, a place to hang out, a party to go to. You know, I potentially could make friends to vote for her, that kind of a thing. I think that's really, these cards are going all over the place, guys. I think really that was the long and short of it. I don't think that she was in the mix. Like she wasn't going into any of those rooms. So that's going to lead me into just a quick comment on about the different levels of party that were there. So hang on, I'm just trying to get back to where I was. All right, there we go. So if you ever go to a royal home or a manor house, any of the historic ones, basically they're set up in a fashion that when you come in the front door, there's like an initial reception room. And depending on your importance, you can go into the next room. So as you go further and further into the house, your esteem, your access goes up with the rooms that you can go through. So some people may go and visit an aristocrat or a politician or something like that, and they can only get in the first 2 rooms. But family members would be able to get all the way into, like the 7th level, the inner sanctum. That's kind of where it comes from. I think that the Diddy parties were the same way, but also in time. And I did see this when I was in LA. To a certain extent, there were parties that you would be invited to, and no one was allowed into the back room because the families were there, or people weren't allowed into the house. Sometimes parties were outside, entirely outside, and there were certain limits to where people would go. But our friends that were celebrities, like we could go upstairs, like if you needed to lay down for a minute, like me with my epilepsy, I would have to lay down like all the time. So there were with people that we were really close with, you can get in. So I think that the Diddy parties functioned in 2 fashions. I think that there was, oh yeah, outer limits. I know, right? Yeah. So terrible. Oh, Stephanie, glad you're home. So glad you got home safely. So I do think that at certain times people would be pushed out of those parties. So there's like an 11 o'clock push, 12 o'clock push. And, if you've ever gone to like a really super fun, crazy party, there is always that, like when you were in college and like everybody's still hanging out at, 4 o'clock in the morning. Our wedding was like that. Not like a Diddy party, but our wedding was, we had our wedding here at the house, Gregopedia and I. And I think our last guest left at almost 5 a.m. So like people just stayed. Hi, Brian Medium. Brian, are you a medium? Look at that. We might have a medium in the house. Nice to see you, Brian. Nice to see you. So I do think that the Diddy parties function the same way. I think it was time people would be, all right, party's done. Pool party's going to be after party's going to happen. And that, you see that at concerts all the time. There's, the Hey Bolin, nice to see you, honey. Oh, Brian, you are medium. Fantastic. Love that. I'll be doing a mediumship tomorrow night at a private event. There is a link in the pinned comment is a link if anybody wants to come to the Lizzie Borden walkthrough. Stephanie, your family is like that? Yeah. And your family partied to the next day and you weren't even there. I went to a wedding in Belgium that was 3 days long and it was amazing. It was so much fun. I really wanted our wedding to be like that, and it kind of was. We do the same thing for Gregopedia's Gregtoberfest. That's really like a multi-day event. So let's see. Prince Harry with the Diddy parties. How deep does it go? How deep does it go? Knight of Rods. So, and that 10 of Rods. So, Knight of Rods are like a little pervy. They're not really too discriminating about where they stick it. Hey, Bo Lynn, congratulations. Well, I'm going to pull some cards on that. So you just stick around, sweetie pie. I think you still got it. I think you're fantastic. So I think that Harry was having a lot of companionship fun at those Diddy parties. I think that was a big part of it. And having been in LA, sometimes there's a boom boom room at parties. It can get really interesting. What else? What was under the surface? Under the surface, the star, he was slumming. Like, I hate to say it. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I don't have the card view up. So, again, Harry cosplaying as a poor person is like hanging out with rock stars and celebrities. Like, that's him, like, being poor. So I think that it really was him trying to get rid of the anxiety, trying to act like a cool kid. So being a cool kid sometimes involves doing too many shots and smoking the reefer. I'm not judging. You guys know I don't judge. I don't have any problems with the reefer. Legal in New Jersey. So I think Harry was there to hang out with girls. This was like his college fun time, hanging out with girls, doing the more cards flying, Zephyr, like a crazy wild animal here. So let's talk about the Beckhams. Let's talk about the Beckhams. Beckhams and the parties. Four blades in reverse. King of coins in reverse. Lose yourself. King of cups. They did not enjoy going to these parties. I'm sorry. I'm going to say that. They went to them because it was work. Eight of Cups, trying to get the hell out of there. The World, trying to distance themselves from it. So I do think that they would go to those events because they were industry events. They would go and they would hang out. Got to remember, Victoria Beckham was a Spice Girl. She was in the music industry at one point. So mixing it up, I don't think she liked what was going on at them. And I think David Beckham is like a cute little puppy. And I think that he is I think he has a cheerful disposition by nature. I don't think that he is. I know there's a whole like cheating thing. I know. I actually have a poster of David Beckham in my closet. Um. Oh, Julianne, really? All right, so we'll look at that in a second. That's some deep, dark, crazy stuff. We're talking about just the Diddy parties right now with them. I think Victoria found them beneath her. I think she found them beneath her. It was just a lot of not refined behavior. Let's put it that way. If someone came over and like twerked on a guy, next to her, she'd be like, like gross, like all I smell is ass and feet. Psychically, all I smell is ass and feet. And I think she was the driving force to get him out the door. But he looked at it more like the carnival. Like, this is what these crazy Americans do. Like, oh, look, it's so weird. Like, it was almost like a freak show for him. Not realizing, how far that rabbit hole goes. Or in this case, the bung hole. Because that's really what it was. No glory hole here, but bung hole. I am saying that. Usually don't curse on my channel. Usually don't say naughty things like that. But every now and then I drop an F-bomb. So I think that their association with these parties, and if they do give any testimony, it is going to be to the extent that she was disgusted by them. And I think David Beckham will have a more surface approach to it. I don't think that he really sensed the creepiness that was under all of that. I think he will give testimony that's like, no, it's just like a bunch of crazy people partying and like working all over the place. And I think that she'll be like, yeah, it was creepy. So A. Boleyn, yeah, I think she would be like, ugh. So let's talk about so when we talk about hunting parties with the royals, there are rumors that they let little people go and they run them down. Recently, and by recently I mean the last like 15 years, I think, there's a gal, an Australian gal, who points a very, very severe finger at the late father of Nicole Kidman and says that he was part of this whole organization, and that she was actually in one of those situations where she was tasked as a young girl to hide some even younger non-willing participants, and there were starved Dobermans and all kinds of stuff, like pretty creepy stuff. So David Beckham involved in any kind of parties like that, please say no, please say no, please say no, please say no. Love that squeaky voiced guy. So before I turn that over, I'm going to tell you, my aunt Marilyn had an orange cat named Tony, and Tony got neutered really, really young, and he never got a deep meow. He always had a meow, like a kitten mew. And the first time I heard a meow, I just moved back from LA, and he meowed at me, and I go, "Oh, David Beckham!" So I always called him David Beckham because his little high pitched voice. So Thank God. Page of Rods in reverse. I don't think it was to his taste. So I am saying no, and I'm not digging any further. Not digging it any further. No way. I'm not doing it. I love you, David Beckham. So, live life. You still here, hon? You still here? Still here? Let's see. Are you going to be rehired by your former employer? You're going to be rehired by your former employer. Justice. I do not think so, and I think it's actually a good thing that you're not. You know why? Because it's not the place that you thought it's not the same place. Like there's management turnover, there's employee turnover. It's just not going to be the same thing. I think I read this for you the other day, and I think I may have given you a different answer. I may be wrong. I may be crazy. But there's definitely, it's just not the same place that it was, and you will find out after you're hired there. So just, be on the lookout. Be on the lookout for that. So let's see. Breaking news. Newark mayor arrested in ICE facility issue. Let's see what's going to happen to him. I don't even know what his name is. Stephanie, I see your comment. Let me do that. I gotcha. How is this mayor going to do? Because we keep having these kinds of things happening. These mayors and governors are like, no, we're going to do it. Like even Governor Murphy was like, yeah, I'm housing an illegal at my house and I don't even care. They're well hidden. Like, what are you doing? Like, quit fanning the flames. So Knight of Blades, he is going to fight this vociferously. I think that's the right word. Page of Blades, King of Blades. He was trying to do the right thing. What is our outcome here? Ooh, 2 blades. He's gonna lose his job. So, all right, sorry, dude. You're gonna lose your job. You're gonna lose your job. It was a decision made and executed. Like all of this, blades. This is something that he thought about. This is something that he thought was going to be noble and just and the right thing to do. Is it? My mother-in-law was an immigrant. My grandfather was an immigrant. My son's father is an immigrant to the United States. I'm not opposed. Oh, thank you, Zephyr. I'm not opposed to immigration. I'm just, opening the gates at the border and letting people flood over is something that I'm against. I think a lot of our friends across the pond can appreciate that because they've seen the same thing. Okay. Vociferously, correct word. I wonder how many times we're going to hear I'll take the 5th. Let's see. Is it going to be a lot? Suit, Page of Blades. I do think we're going to see it sprinkled in quite a bit. Specifically, and I'm getting psychically from the accusers. I think the accusers are going to be dropping this, which is problematic because once you plead the 5th, you have to keep pleading the 5th. So I think we will see some accusers kind of their expertise in the situation. Testimony will be dropped because they won't be able to do it. Yeah, Julianne Hayward, we were being invaded here. Yeah, we were being invaded here. That was done on purpose, though. That was to get votes. That was to get votes. So we've got the third witness is now backtracking on their statement. This is in the Diddy case. Why? Why? The Hermit. This individual is being threatened and is scared. and is very, very scared. That's why they are changing their story. So seven of wands, king of blades in the past did speak the truth in the past, yes. Now the hermit in reverse, a lot of people are interjecting their information into this person and threatening the emperor, threatening with the emperor. Beth, I see your comments. Oh, Beth, what is going on? Hang on. Beth, I don't know why your comments do keep they keep getting retracted. I don't know what's going on with that. I see your comment and then it gets retracted. It's weird. But look, Beth, I see you. Beth, what can I do? So where is their third witness? So I think that they're being threatened with being this card does not, the death card does not mean death, but this means we're going to make your life a living hell. So I think she's retracting those comments. What is the threat behind those people that are whispering in her ear? The magician, we can do all kinds of stuff to make your life difficult. We can ruin your family, your finances, and break up every single relationship that you have. We can affect your work. Oh, that was you on the retraction, Beth? Beth, I can see you. So, Beth, I hear you calling, but I can't get home right now. Who likes Kiss? Zephyr, I know you do. That was the worst version of Beth ever, though. I'm sorry, Beth. I'm so sorry. Wifey! Wifey! So, would this be a case be behind closed doors? I think we're going to see a healthy amount of it. How much of it's going to be behind closed doors? And I don't think a lot. I think, Page of Rods, I think we're going to see a healthy amount of it. Beth, you know what? I have someone who banned me on like 3 channels. She's a mod. She is a mod, and she has blocked me on like 3 channels. And for no other reason than she just doesn't like me. She just doesn't like me. Why has Diddy been the poster boy and no one else is being arrested? So let's see if anyone else is going to be arrested. Okay. Margie, you didn't like, I was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving me. The only disco song. It's so clearly Friday night for me. So are we going to see anyone else come to the fore? No, we're not. This case is going to begin and end with him. Like we said a little bit earlier, I think that oh, thanks, Beth. It's such a great song. The Kiss song, Beth, is a great song. So I think that this is, I don't want to say, steal what's her face's thing. I think we're seeing, the show. The show is going on right now. We got to watch the show. We got to see how the movie plays out. So say the Sandman. I can't do Sandman. I can do yeah. I can do it. Yeah, that's about it. Madeline McCain. Did she die in the apartment? So Victoria, I've actually read on this. Madeline McCain, I don't think died in the apartment. I think she was, and I did do a remote view on it. And I stay away from true crime. You guys know that, but I'm not doing it anymore. I am getting more involved in true crime. Like the Lizzie Borden thing I'm doing tomorrow night. Private event link is in the pinned comments. So Madeline McCain, I think, died in like a pool house. So where she was, I definitely smelled chlorine, and there were some bags of something stacked up there. And I do think that she was brought in a non-motorized boat out to the ocean. So I don't think we'll ever find her. That young gal that claims to be her, no, not her. But she was in some kind of, oh, Margie, Northy, the Northy, what do you call it? The Northumberland witch. I think she calls herself Northodamus. One of her mods blocked me from commenting on that channel, which is really a shame because I like Northodamus. And I had exchanged emails with her, and then she had sent me an email that someone had put me off her, or put them off me, or something. I don't know, it was like really weird, but I'm not getting into the drama. I've eliminated all drama from my life on YouTube. So yeah. So I think that she was, the kids definitely had medicine in them, and she was taken, and I don't think it was with the parents. Like, I didn't dive. It's so upsetting that I just didn't dive into the parents much more. I think I think they messed up. I'm gonna drop an F-bomb. They fucked up and left their kids in there, which is so weird. Oh, you're blocked too. That's right, Deb. So I think they left their kids in that room, and they were lucky that all three weren't taken. But it was one person. It was one person that took that little girl and took her down to that pool house, and fill in the blanks. So I think it was awful. So it's one of the reasons I don't like to do true crime, because I don't like it. It just sticks with me. So Aqua SZN, you asked me to look into Drake and Nicki Minaj. Do you mean in regard to the Diddy case, or together? Are they together? Like, I don't even know. Fill me in on that. Tell me if you think it's that, or what your question was. Oh, Sonia Polton has a great new channel regarding the case. Okay. Okie doke. Thank you, Victoria Smith. So, Victoria Smith, I believe I owe you an email too. I with all the kitten stuff that has been going on, I have been not attentive to my emails. So I will be attentive to my email after this. So, will Harry ever see Meghan's true colors? And immediately viewers drop off. So, will he ever? Correction. Is he seeing it now? Is he seeing it now? 4 of elixirs. That is, the dream is dying. The dream is over. Turn on the light. Queen of Rods. She did not deliver as promised. Oh, let me fix that. Did not deliver as promised. Knight of Blades. He still wants to say a whole bunch of things. 7 of Cups. The world was their oyster, and none of that was delivered. 10 of Blades. I think that he realizes he messed up. I'm going to drop another F-bomb. He fucked up. It's even hard to me. Like, I drop F-bombs all day long, but when I'm on camera, it's really hard for me to do. It's like Beetlejuice like slaps a thing on my mouth. I think he realizes it now. And one of the interesting things, and I did this 2 for Tuesday this week, of the difference between Meghan's like living her best life and like telling people like, we're in a honeymoon phase, and he's like, oh, I'm just so tragic and awful. I need to reconcile with everyone. Everyone needs to apologize to me and reconcile with me. So it really. It really is unfortunate, because I do think that he is stuck with her. I don't think that he can go anywhere. I just think he has no choice but to like kind of see this out. Did the US UK trade deal include the release of Tommy Robinson and others? Let's see. Let's see. Not quite. Was there some discussion about loosening up the rules and laws that got them in jail? Stalemate. Nine of Wands in reverse and the moon. Do you think it's a bit of a stalemate, though? So I'm going to quote Count Dracula in Bram Stoker's Dracula. Little Gary Oldman. Our ways are not your ways. So I think that that's really kind of the discussion that Starmer had with Trump. Now, I mean, I think Trump has a very different opinion about, the freedoms that we experience here in the United States. We really can't take parts of our constitution and insist that other countries adhere to those rules for their people. So I think Trump is willing to wait this one out. The tower, this is something that's going to implode on its own. And I've said this before. I think that the United Kingdom is in a very interesting and precarious moment. See my reading on help me, not Rupert Lowe, Nigel Farage. See my reading on Nigel Farage. I think that we are going to see the United Kingdom. The people are going to have a bigger, louder voice. Again, I'm not talking about revolution, but I do think that if that medium is still here, what was his name? Peter Medium? Wait, what was his name? What was the medium that was here? Scrolling back up through a lot of comments. Yeah, Beth, I see your comment. Brian Medium, are you still here? Brian Medium, if you are still here, my fellow psychic friend, if you are still here, let me know what you think about the energy that is coming out of the United Kingdom. Hi, Brian. Brian, what's your take? I think it's going to be very interesting on the energy coming out of the United Kingdom. Do you feel like we've got Margie, you are too. What do you guys feel like is coming out of the United Kingdom? I do think that they are poised for a revolution of a type, not what the American Revolution was or the French Revolution, but I do feel like there is this crazy energy kind of building there. And I don't think that President Trump is going to do anything to influence that anyway. Just like I don't think Macron is going to step in there and influence things to go in another way, or Vladimir Putin, or what's the other guy, Zelensky. No one's going to step into the United Kingdom and say, hey, you ought to do things like us. I think that Trump is letting things play out, and I think a lot of other people in positions of power are going to just kind of watch what's going on. There's a lot of changing of the guard. We saw it with the papal changes that we just had. And also we have that the circuit that Pluto just did is the same circuit that we haven't seen since 1775. So we have crazy energies going on out in the world. So, definitely keeping an eye out on that. And I just jumped off our live stream for a second. Let me get back over here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. There we go. Okay, I'm back in. I'm back in, kid. I'm back in. Jumped off the live for a second. I didn't leave this live, but I left the my studio live. So yeah. So I think this is a wait and see. It's unfortunate for Tommy Robinson and the other people that are currently incarcerated, but we will see. All right. So I am going to close up questions because I still have a lot. I'm going to try and get through all of them. So will George, this is Sophie, will George be a good king, and will he forgive his Uncle Harry? So I am going to say something, and my previous readings, I don't think that the royal family is going to be recognizable when William gets into power. I think it's going to turn more into a business type structure. Oh, that's okay, Brian. I just wanted your input in the chat. It's always great to have another psychic on board. So Margie, if you want to, what's your energy read on the UK too? Fire it off in there. Fire it off. Let me know what you think. So, yeah, not even on the Tommy Robinson situation. Do you think we're going to start to see some changes in the United Kingdom? So I do think that the royal family is going to become more of a business model. It's going to be more of a family that has a business. So, you're not just waving from the, the carriage or anything like that. You're not just doing patronages. I think we're actually going to see people that are involved in, making economic decisions, making investment decisions, that kind of things. So, I think it's going to be very different. I think George is going to be more of a CEO, vice president, CEO than he is like a king. Sorry, guys. I know that's kind of a bummer. But I think that that's kind of the way it's going. And I think the shrinking of the royal family makes that a lot easier because now they're not just laden down with riches and whatnot. They actually have an ability that they're putting in. It's not just an accident of birth. I think that and that's one of the things that William and Catherine are doing is they are trying to correct the accident of birth by making these kids of substance. It's not just, they don't just know art history. They don't just know their history. They actually know how to do math and things like that. Pretty much the opposite of what Harry has done. So will George be a good leader? Let's look at him that way. Is he going to be a good leader? Knight of Coins. He is going to be a good money maker. That is a money maker. So I think he's going to be able to, and there's the Queen of Coins. He's going to expand the monies that they have. To what end? To what end? To maintain, but what? Maintain what? The way things were in the past. Sorry, guys. Now the blades. Two of blades. Is this in government or in the royal family? So here's the thing, guys. The goal is going to be William does not want to have the same kind of legacy as Elizabeth II, but he wants his son to. That's what he wants. Hi, thankfully, I owe you a text message too. We've had kitten drama. I will explain when I text you. I just have been up to my ears. So it's up to my ears and kittens. I will explain. We had 2 more kittens, but sadly they did not make it. They did not make it overnight. So things are happening. But I think that William, there's a purity to George that he is going to push to the forefront. There are no mistakes made with George yet. George hasn't done, there's been no step out of line or anything like that. So I think they're really trying to um put him in a place where he can be so even-handed and really, and I do think that's quite an easy task. I think, personality-wise, he's a likable kid. I think he has the softness of his grandfather, King Charles, and I think he has the kindness of his mother, Catherine, and I think he has the stalwartness of his father. So, is that a recipe for a good leader? Yes, I do think that it is. Second part of the question. Margie, I saw him at that tea party too. He was adorable. Hi, Fitness Hutch. Hi, Fitness Hutch. We'll text later, dude. Those kittens didn't make it. Neither kitten made it. So we're back to square one. We're back to three little kittens who lost their mittens. And my cat is doing fine. So is George going to forgive Harry? This is drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. Is he going to forgive Harry? The Hierophant, his position will not allow him. You chose separately. There is no return to where we were. 7 of coins. This is your time, Harry, to reflect upon what you have done and who you were. It is your time to reflect on that. And then we have the 6 of blades. There's no return. George will be instructed to lock up the kingdom and never, ever, ever to let him back in. But here, and Zephyr, the cards went everywhere. Let's see if he is allowed to entertain the children of Harry and Meghan. I know, children. We're talking about children. Gosh, guys, we've been on for 2 hours. Everybody okay? We're still fresh? Still doing good? I know you guys over in the UK, it's getting late. I know it's getting late. Thank you, thankfully. But my 3 are doing good. My 3 are doing good. They're getting very, very adventurous. So, Zephyr, thank you. Thank you for dropping that link. I just subscribed. So, how? Honestly, Heidi. Heidi, by the way, I teach tarot. I have some courses up. So send me an email, fortunecookiestarot@gmail.com, and I'll hook you up. I will hook you up with the link. So, Outer Limits. That would be something, wouldn't it? That would be something. Brian, I just subscribed to you. Brian, you send me an email too. Annabelle, fortunecookiestarot@gmail.com. So, will George entertain either Archie? I always want to call him Archie Bet. Archie Bet. Will he entertain Archie or Lily? Will he even consider bringing them into the kingdom, as River says? I love River too. I was watching River before this. I just love when River gets so outraged. So Archie's on the top. No. Oh my goodness. With Archie, it's going to be like, you have to understand your parents made this decision for you. This isn't something that we made the decision. Your parents made this decision. They were the ones that cut you off from all of this. The choice was theirs. They, like, in the words of the Judean People's Front, split us. Like, it's going to be like, you guys split. I can't do anything. I can't restore you to the family. You've now been tainted out with the great unwashed. You can't come back. Can't blame them. Can't blame them. So how about Lilibet, the son? 10 of rods and the 9 of cups. Is that 9 or 8? The 8 of cups. Whoops. Or no, 9 of cups, which is the wish card, and it's in reverse. So, the acknowledgement of Lilibet. There was somebody, I can't remember who I was watching, but they were saying, you know who it was? It was Meghan Markle debacles. I like her channel too. Talking about a lot of other channels today. So, she was saying that these children are not being weaponized now. They're being weaponized for later. They are being poisoned against the royal family. So when they're older, that they will have a lot to say about their exclusion from the family. Yeah. So they will not be welcome back. George will not welcome them back, even though they will be contemporaries. He will say, I can appreciate what you're doing. Carry on with what you're doing. Be, celebrities. And tra-la-la. That's all there is to it. The resentment of those children will be nuclear. Another Mommy Dearest, which was a hit piece. Mommy Dearest was a hit piece. I actually have an artist made wire hanger with her on it. It's pretty cool. So is Prince Philip's uncle ever going to be exposed for the things he did in his lifetime to those children? I am not sure what that is. I didn't go down that particular rabbit hole. Oh God. Thank you, Zephyr. Good night, Heidi. Send me an email. So, is Prince Philip's uncle ever going to be exposed? Hangman. That's a yes. We're going to see that. We are going to see that. Thanks for hanging out, Heidi. So, Margie, speaking of Sarah, did we ever actually see if they've been a couple all these years? Yeah, they like kind of hopped back in together. So let's see. Lord Mountbatten. Okay. Lord Mountbatten. He was blown up, wasn't he? Not in like the Harry Potter sense. He was blown up. So let's see. Sarah and Andrew, are they really a couple? Trevor, I've been singing this whole show. No, they are not a couple. But it's almost like the we have to do it. Who else will have us? So, Trevor, we're talking about Sarah, Princess of York, and Prince Andrew. So I think they are a relationship of humanaki, not a relationship of humanaki. Humanaki is my other favorite off-worlder. I'm not rating Outer Limits and Humanaki. They're both on the same level with me. But basically, I think that they're like, who else will have us? And Gregopedia, my darling husband, actually sent me a video of one of Sarah's ex-boyfriends, allegedly. And he's like claiming he knows all kinds of stuff, and he raised the York girls and what blah 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 blah. So I got to do a reading on that. I'm going to do a longer reading on that. So there we go. So I don't think that they are really a couple, but it's like, who else will have us? So I'm not even sure. Hi, Tamla Moore. African Americans are not African. Return to sender. All witchcraft and black magic. That spells. I am not reading that. Blah 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 blah. Okay, all right, there we go. That was fun. Beth, will you return to the home of your ancestors in this life? Will you return to the home of your ancestors in this life? It does not look like it. So, when we get the 10 of swords, it's kind of like, been there, done that. Basically, are there other places that you should go that will be better? Tower in reverse. So something about the motherland that is problematic for you. You don't want to go back there. I'm doing that past life regression on the 17th, the group past life regression, and I did drop that in the comments as well. If you want to attend that, sometimes you can find out information about other homelands that you've been a part of that you need to visit more so. So, King of Rods. Yeah, there's something about your parents' motherland, your parents' homeland, that you don't want to go there. It's not going to be the enlightening experience that you want it to be. There are other places in the world that you should go to. Lady of the Lake, thank you so much. Let me highlight that. Whoop. My chat is all the way down there. Thank you so much, Lady of the Lake. Thank you. Oh, Zephyr, don't worry about that comment. I'll just leave it there. I don't know what it is. Is that black magic? I don't think it's black magic or anything like that. Thankfully, are you headed to bed? Go to bed, my dear. I will send you a text message. We'll chat tomorrow. So there we go. Bolin, let's see how your date's gonna go. Good for you, asking out a dude. That was how Gregopedia and I actually started dating. We were secretly dating, and by secretly dating, I mean we were dating, and everyone else knew it except for us. And he took me to the gun range and was, teaching me how to handle a weapon. And then we went to dinner, and then one of the Hunger Games movies came out, and I was like, "Ooh, the Hunger Game movie came out," and he was like, "I never do 3 things in one day," and I was like, "You're doing 3 things in one day." And so when we got back, I said, "You know what? You did 3 things in one day. You're going to do a 4th. You're going to kiss me goodnight because this is a date." But we've basically known each other our whole lives, so was interesting, let's put it that way. But good first date. I shot like a champ. So I still have it on my Instagram. So if you're friends with me on Instagram, you can go see it. You can go see the date of our first date, and you will see my target practice. So how is Bolin's date going to go? I hope it's not with a guy named Henry. Date, I don't know if you're going to be super, super compatible. So, watch for the red flags. He may remind you of someone from your past. So let's see if we need to get through that. I think he's a good practice date. Let's put it that way. I think he's definitely a good practice date. I think there's going to be like, he's going to remind you of somebody that didn't work out. So is there good practice? Yes, it's going to be good practice. You know what's so funny? My Aunt Marilyn went on a date a million years ago, and she went with my non-related, but my Aunt Marianne, and they actually switched dates halfway through the night, like halfway through dinner. And my Aunt Marilyn wound up marrying the other guy, and the guy she wasn't supposed to go on the date with. And they have 3 amazing kids, and my cousins are awesome. And that was the first Holy Communion that I went to last weekend. It was my cousin Christina's son's first Holy Communion. So great family. I lived in their apartment when I was in college. They had an apartment over there. They have an apartment over the garage. So, super, super cool family. So you never know what's going to happen on a date, Anne Boleyn, but have a good time nonetheless. It may not be, a forever and anon. So will more come out about Jay-Z from the Diddy trial? He is taking a huge step away from that whole scene, isn't he? Are we going to hear more about the Z? The moon, transforming. Not that we, those of us here in the chat are not really, super pro Jay-Z fans. I think we're all on the same page about that one. But I think things are going to come out that are going to be transforming. 10 of rods, the sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that Jay-Z is gonna get in trouble. We're gonna see that Jay-Z was partaking in a lot more things. So, we don't typically know Jay-Z as like a substance kind of person, like there are some people that like Snoop. Everybody knows that like Snoop is a big smoker, like everybody. It's not a joke, I saw like a whole bunch of memes about when they were waiting for the white smoke and they had Snoop dressed up in the conclave. It's just silly. But I think we're going to find out more about him being. There's a lot of noise upstairs just now. I don't know what's going on. I think we're going to find out more about him partaking in substances and things like that. And also with the wild wanding here. Wait, you know what? That's what we're going to call it from now on. Wild wanding. Wild wanding. Are you okay, Disney dog? Raven? So wild wanding is going to be, hanging out and going from pond to pond, let's call it that. So I think we're going to find out some things about Jay-Z. I think we're going to find out about his the substances that he likes to take too. So so yes, wild wanding sounds a little frisky, doesn't it? So we'll have to see. Stephanie, home from her travels. Stephanie, I hope you are sitting in a chair with a lovely cocktail at this point. So let's see. Did Megan make a pass at Williams? So a lot of people have been talking about that she was, almost chronic about hugging him and kissing him every time she saw him. Now that's like, like we have really good friends that every time we see him, good for you having a screwdriver. Excellent choice. I will be having a White Russian when I get done here, I think. But maybe not. I don't know. Maybe something a little more zestier and not so creamy and delicious. But there is some story about her being very, very physical with him, and that he, we all heard the recoil the first time they met, that he recoiled. But let's see. Did she actually make a suggestive pass, like grab it? Did she grab the jewels? Or maybe grab like the treasure chest, or like did she grab something? Let's see. Did she actually do that? Oh my, no, she was biding her time. It was a lot of flirty stuff, guys. A lot of flirty stuff. And a lot of like, well, I just really need a man that can satisfy me with his staff and his rod. I think there was a lot of suggestive talk like that. 4 of Cups. She definitely made herself available. And oh yeah. Oof. There was an attitude of, well, if it weren't for the things that we're like really hung up with, like this engagement ring that is kind of small, and that whole relationship that you've committed yourself to, if only we could be such a power couple. And I think that was it. I think she really pitched it as being like a power couple, and like they could be such problem solvers. And I really do think, Stephanie, I knew it. So I think that she wanted to omit Catherine, because Catherine, like, how could Catherine be even one iota smart? It's not like she went to St. Andrews or anything. Like she wanted to pitch herself as worldly. She went to Northwestern. She's been in Hollywood. She knows her way around a thing or two, and she's just so insanely smart. And Harry's kind of a dullard, and your wife is kind of a dullard. So we're really the power force here. I think that's what she was doing. I don't think she cared that he was married. I think the coupling that she was trying to do was in the power vortex. So she would necessarily, like the hand of the king in Game of Thrones. She wanted to be the hand of the king, whether the hand was doing this or not. I don't know. I hope Trevor was still here to see me doing this suggestive movement on my innocent channel here. Trevor, I'm not drinking. I'm not drinking. Dave Murphy! Guys, I want to pitch it again. So we're gonna be doing, everyone's laughing at that. Dave Murphy and Debbie Schoen in the chat are going to be my hosts for tomorrow night. They are going to be the directors and the monitors for my psychic reading tomorrow night on the Lizzie Borden murder. So it's going to be really, really fun. Dave and Debbie asked a lot of great questions the last time I went into deep meditation about another crime. So we are going to be looking at the Lizzie Borden crime. And I think this is going to be a regular thing that I do. Like I said, I think I want to do a reverse remote view on the Kurt Cobain departure, let's put it that way. So there it is. So I do think that Megan wanted to be close to the power. She wanted to get a grip on the power. I'm being so rude, guys. Sorry. It's late. I know for some of you it's late. So there we go. I'm gonna change subjects. Let's talk about babies. Let's talk about Brooklyn Beckham and his lovely wife. She doesn't seem lovely. Nicola. So I'm being Randy Zephyr. I'm being a little bit Randy. So do we have a baby? I want my baby back. I eat babies. Now my channel is gonna be popped. So do I see a baby coming for the Beckhams? Are the Beckhams going to get the baby? 4 blades. Ooh. No, not yet. I don't think yet. I think they're having too much fun right now. I don't think she wants to be tied down with that. She is enjoying their life, her life. And I don't think that tying them, I think that, we have this anxiety card here. And I think that they will, they're going to wait on that. I think he's more interested in having a baby than she is. When you're young and you have a lot of money, there's so many things that you can do. And it really doesn't make sense to not do all of those things before you have your kids. And I think the Beckhams were kind of young when they had their kids. I know they had one before they got married. So I do think that it's going to be a little bit more time. So again, I want to highlight Lady of the Lake. Thank you so much for your generous contribution. And Rex Tex, does your mom have a message for you? Let me get out. So I got this deck because the Tarot knows, Lily from the Tarot knows. I love her accent. She is just a delight. And it is Messages from Heaven. I like to use these because we sometimes get a straightforward message right away. Dave, I was too. I was old. I had my daughter. I was just about 35. Birds are messengers we use to connect with you. So mind the birds. We have hummingbirds at my mother-in-law's house. The hummingbirds show up all the time. And we have the Cardinals here. Greg's best friend shows up as Cardinals. Give yourself time and be kind to yourself and heal in your own way. So, how does one go about doing that? Let's see. Actually, I'm going to switch decks. Switch decks. Oh, doves. We have love doves here. Those cute little love doves. Here's your anxiety. How do we get out of that? King of Cups. High Priestess, listening to that inner voice. And, you know, the King of Cups is about not stepping into your day with sadness. So, like, sometimes, and I've talked to one of my friends in the chat about changing the date of a terrible event. Sometimes we have events that are awful. You could lose someone on that date, you could have an accident, something like that. A date that marks a terrible thing. Taking that date and turning it into something else is really important. So, it could, instead of the date that you lost, a loved one, you go and get a puppy that day. Like now it's the day that you got Boomer, and Boomer is like your favorite puppy, and Boomer is like the greatest thing ever. So instead of the date that you lost a favorite pet or something awful happened, you go and you climb Mount Washington. You go up Mount Washington, or you go visit an amazing site. Taking those days and turning them into something that marks the passage of time differently is really important, because we all do that. When we have people that we've lost from our lives, we remember. I know we have a wall in our house that I'm going to bring up my face a little bit more. We have when we got married, someone had a custom board made, and it was for everybody to sign, and our wedding was so much fun that not everybody signed the board. And so we hung it up on the wall. We didn't realize it. There was a lot of space on it. We were like, whatever, some people signed it. But good night, Victoria. I'm going to send you an email. You will get an email with a link today, or tomorrow morning. You can find yourself a reading tomorrow morning. So not everybody signed the board, and so we put it up on the wall, and people came in and they went, I didn't even see this at your wedding. I can't believe that I didn't get to see it. I didn't get to sign it. And so we started having people sign it. The board got filled up, and then somebody came in and said, oh man, I can't even fit my name in here. And I said, you know what? Sign the wall. So now the whole wall is signed. And like when the kids say like funny things, like one day Angus said, he was little, he was like 8 years old, and he said metal is the best genre of music that there ever was, or something. And so we wrote that on the wall. Ella had said at one point to her brother, he had this crazy horn in the car, and she whispered to him, she's like, let me have your horn. And he said, no, I'm not going to give it to you. And she said, come on, it's going to be big, it's going to be loud, but it's going to be awesome. And she was going to like blow it and be like really annoying. And so that it's going to be big, it's going to be loud, it's going to be awesome is up on the wall. When we got Pusheen, we marked that on the wall, day we got Pusheen. The day we got Lily and AJ, we put that on the wall. Oh, we have to put the kittens. We have to put the kittens date on the wall. I forgot about that. The day that Bruno passed away, we put that up there. The day that Grim, our cat, passed away, we put that on there. And the day that our friend Chris passed away is on there. So it's the whole wall is like getting filled up now. So like if you ever come and visit me in my house, you got to sign the wall. And I don't know if we're going to take that into the rest of the hallway, or if people are going to turn around. RX Margaret's my grandmother. That's my grandmother. Sorry, Brian. I don't know if you're picking up on my grandmother. She's a Marguerite. But she actually was a Margaret, and she stands at my kitchen sink all the time. So she judges me when I'm cooking. She actually taught me how to cook. So she comes through a lot, which is wild because she was really mean to me when I was a kid. I was very annoying to her. So, but oh, and Margie is a Margaret. So we've got a Margaret. A Margaret has entered the chat. So yeah. So did everybody have fun? This was fun. You guys, everybody stuck with us. This was actually a really long live. I did not expect it to go this long. And before I wrap up for the night, who likes this format if I do fan favorite Friday? And you heard that name as soon as she got on. Yeah, my grandmother is around me. She's a strong Italian lady. She's not going anywhere, which is really weird because I'm surprised that she hasn't turned over yet. So keep the format where I do fan favorite Friday. I take a poll on Wednesday in my community chat, and then you guys kind of decide the main topic, and then we can branch out. Like I'm not gonna be like a dictator here. Like we have to do it this way. Like I'm only gonna ask the questions that I want to ask. So yeah, a little bit different from Mixtape Monday. Oh, the tarot nose has disappeared again. Has she? I love her. I love Lily. I absolutely adore her videos. I know she was poorly, so oh, Julianne, it's like a night out for me too, believe it or not. I used to go out a lot, and I just can't. I have so many things that I have to do at home. I have so much laundry. But Greg, one of the things, so we were talking about so Gregopedia and we have a very good friend named Corey, and he's an engineer, and he likes to really engineer drinks. He does a really great job. He's got a beautiful bar at his house, and we are working on having a comprehensive bar. We have a lot of liquors in this house. And so I made some whiskey soaked cherries for old fashions. Greg and Corey both make the best old fashions you will ever have in your whole life. And I made these whiskey soaked cherries, and I just put the whiskey in there and just kind of walked away from it. And I'm tinkering with some different recipes. So this batch I made with raw sugar and bullet bourbon. So they're bourbon soaked with cherries, and a little bit of vanilla extract, but I used real vanilla bean too. The next batch I am going to make when we have fresh cherries in season, I am going to make them with a little bit of plum in there. So that's like something I'm going to add in. And I may do some currants in there as well. So like that'll all soak and kind of hang out for a little bit. And I think those I'm going to make with a little bit of brown sugar. I also put a little bit of maple syrup in a little bit of maple syrup into the cherries that I just made. But one of the most fun dinner parties that Gregopedia and I ever did was a whiskey tasting party, and we did all of these pairings, and we did it with his best friend. And his best friend Chris, that passed away, was an absolute awesome host to host he would host Greg's birthday party with me every year. And so we put together this whiskey tasting and pairing party, and I had lost the recipes for it. And I cleaned out my closet last week, and guess what I found? So I think I'm going to put together a little book. It'll be a digital book, and I'll make that available to you guys. I think I'm going to put that together, and I'll do all of the pairing parties that we have done with all the recipes. And they're not going to be my recipes strictly. It'll be, different recipes that I've used. But I will put those all together in a book. I'm actually going to start working on it tonight, I think. But exciting things are afoot. One of the things that I wanted to offer in my digital platform, Learn Worlds, is intentional cooking, intentional cocktail making, which is using different energies to create different effects in your people that you are feeding. Food is my love language. Making cocktails is my love language too. I love a well-crafted cocktail. I actually just got Cosmopolitan mix. I will never do that again because it was terrible. Was not good at all. And it's one of the things that I want to share with you guys. I'm not sound like Meghan Markle. It's one of my loves. I really can cook. I really do cook. So I do want to put together some of the cocktail parties that we have done. Oh, lemon drop. Yeah, we have martini shaker. We have several martini shakers. I have a different preference. I have a couple of metal ones, but I have a glass one that I like for certain things. Sleeve is falling down. Pull up. Sleeves is falling down. Mine, they're up. My sleeves are up. My sleeves are up. Oh, I have a mudslide. I have a um moonshine. I have a, mocha moonshine that I could do something with, but I do make a bourbon hot fudge milkshake, which is fan freaking tastic. So all of these things I will be putting in pairings for you guys to try. So, and I'll put all the recipes in. Like I said, they're not going to be my recipes. It's just going to be pairings that we put together and we tested and had some fun with. And so you could actually oh, you like upper arms muscular. So I actually have pretty big ripped out arms. Oh, blend vodka and Bailey's with ice and it makes a milkshake. Dang, that sounds delicious. No, when I make the bourbon milkshake, I actually make bourbon infused whipped cream that goes on top of it. I have some fun. Brian, send me an email. Send me an email. I'll help you out there, fellow medium. fortunecookiestarot@gmail.com. And so Lily, yes. Okay. So my arms are extremely sexy from shuffling cards. All right, kids. I am gonna jump off because my schedule is still open for the night, but I think I'm going to close it up. I've got time on my schedule tomorrow. Like I said, we're going to be doing the Lizzie Borden walkthrough tomorrow. I'd love to see some of you there. Hit the link up top. Like I said, we're going to have principles. We're going to have some fun stuff so you can walk through the actual crime with me. It's going to be great. Dave Murphy's going to be there. Deb is going to be there. I don't know if Deb's in the thunderstorm still. Brian, if you'd like to come along, I'd love to have you there too. You can see what I do for mediumship. I don't do mediumship on the channel or remote view really, because it's a little bit boring, but I try. So, I do a little bit of regular remote viewing, not the coordinate remote viewing. But I thank you all for being here. Thank you so much. I'm going to go play with my kittens for a little bit and hang out for a little while and just ease into my weekend. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. Sunday is Mother's Day. So everybody that's here, if you are a mother, if you have a mother, if you want to be a mother, if you have pets, happy Mother's Day to you. I hope, oh, you live 5 miles from Lizzie Borden's house. You should come too, because I'm going to be doing the walkthrough. But happy Mother's Day to everybody. I know it's different from the British Mothering Day, but it is Mother's Day on Sunday. It's going to be great. I thought it was good to do the Lizzie Borden thing the day before Mother's Day. Oh, so what is wrong with me? But I love you guys lots. Thank you so much. I will see you guys in the future. Have a great night. Ta-ta for now.